Imagine waking up one morning, declaring yourself ruler, and losing your entire kingdom before you could even finish breakfast. It sounds impossible, but that's exactly what happened in 1896, when Britain fought the shortest war in recorded history. A war that lasted only 38 minutes. But how could an entire war end so quickly? This is the incredible story of the Anglo-Zanzibar War. The year was 1896. Off the eastern coast of Africa lay the island of Zanzibar, a wealthy trading center famous for its spices, ivory, and strategic location along important sea routes. Although Zanzibar had its own sultan, Britain had gained enormous influence over the island. Under an agreement between Britain and Zanzibar, no one could become sultan without British approval. That agreement would soon be put to the ultimate test. On August 25, 1896, Sultan Hamad bin Thuwaini suddenly died. While many believed he died of natural causes, others suspected he had been poisoned. Before Britain could respond, his cousin, Khalid bin Bargash, rushed into the Sultan's palace, seized power, and declared himself the new ruler of Zanzibar. Britain immediately rejected his claim. They wanted another man, Hamad bin Muhammad, to become Sultan instead. British officials informed Khalid that he had no legal right to the throne and demanded that he step down immediately. Khalid refused. Instead of surrendering, he gathered nearly 3,000 supporters, including palace guards, armed civilians, and soldiers. Cannons were positioned around the palace, and the royal yacht, HHS Glasgow, waited in the harbor, ready to defend the new sultan if necessary. Khalid believed Britain was only bluffing. He was convinced they would never actually attack. But Britain had already made its decision. Powerful Royal Navy warships entered Zanzibar's harbor. Among them was the massive cruiser HMS St. George, accompanied by several other heavily armed ships. Together, they surrounded the island and prepared for battle. The British consul delivered one final ultimatum. Khalid had until exactly 9 a.m. on August 27 to leave the palace, surrender his weapons, and give up his claim to the throne. If he refused, Britain would open fire. The deadline arrived. 9 o'clock came and went. Khalid still refused to surrender. Then, at exactly 9:02 a.m., the British fleet opened fire. Massive naval guns bombarded the Sultan's palace. Explosions shook the buildings as cannon shells tore through the walls. Within minutes, the palace caught fire. Zanzibar's artillery was destroyed almost immediately before it could mount any serious defense. Meanwhile, the royal yacht HHS Glasgow attempted to fight back against the British fleet. The battle was hopeless. The British warships quickly overwhelmed it, sinking the vessel into the harbor after only a brief exchange of fire. Inside the palace, chaos spread rapidly. Buildings collapsed, fires burned out of control, and Khalid's forces realized they had no chance against one of the world's most powerful navies. As the bombardment continued, Khalid escaped through a back entrance of the palace and fled to the nearby German consulate, where he sought protection. At approximately 9:40 a.m., the firing stopped. The war was over. From the first British shot to the final ceasefire, only 38 minutes had passed, making it the shortest recorded war in history. The British quickly installed their preferred candidate, Hamad bin Muhammad, as the new Sultan of Zanzibar. British influence over the island became even stronger, and Zanzibar would remain under British control for many years. The human cost, however, was far from small. Around 500 Zanzibaris were killed or wounded during the bombardment. On the British side, only one sailor was reported injured. The enormous difference in military technology had decided the battle almost instantly. Today, the Anglo-Zanzibar War still holds the record as the shortest war ever recorded. A conflict that lasted less than an average school lesson, it completely changed the future of an entire nation. History reminds us that wars are not always remembered because they last for years. Sometimes, they are remembered because they end before most people even realize they have begun. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Echoes of History Official, and turn on notifications for more fascinating stories from history.